Okay, welcome back everybody to our second and final live stream of today. We are in Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are in the Pilatus PC-6. We are going from Dillingham Airfield in the island of Oahu. Hello, Real Italian. So we're doing a flying tour. I'm going to change the time and change the weather, of course, as soon as we get in here real quick. We're going to fly over the Pearl Harbor Memorial, the National Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. Make our way over to the two radio observatories here on the top of the island here. I think I put it in the description here. And then we're going to turn back towards Maui and land there at Kahului. I might be saying that wrong, and I apologize if I am. So let's get in here and get everything set up. Hello again, Mick. So let's do this now. Like I was saying before in the train sim stream, I was going to do the Stearman. It probably would have been a bit much for that plane at the altitude that we want to observe the radio observatories. So
traffic Air Tiger 237 taking off runway 8 departure to the east.
So let's get the weather off. And let's just kind of advance our time a little bit. Just want to see that sun come up. Just a bit more. Let's have some nice color in the sky here. There we go. I think that's more than sufficient. Let's make sure our Alright, now I want to make sure all of our other stuff is on. It should be. Let's make sure our Alright, we'll turn off the landing lights once we're airborne. I don't think we need the panel lights. Minimize that. Turn off the parking brake. Here's our tidy little cabin. And away we go. This is what our plane looks like on the outside. Got this really awesome tiger livery.
Honolulu approach Air Tiger 237 is type Pilatus 1 miles east of Papa Hotel,
Pilatus.
Hotel 600 feet. Request flight following. Air Tiger 237 Honolulu approach. Squawk 1207. Squawk 1207 Air Tiger 237. Air Tiger 237 radar contact 2 miles east of Papa Hotel Delta Hotel 1100 feet. Altimeter 29.2. Roger, Air Tiger 237.
All right, away we go. They captured that in the air when those waves were crashing along the shoreline. Okay, first stop, Pearl Harbor. Yeah, I was looking at the different sort of liveries. There's not a lot to choose from, and this seemed to be like kind of cool. So I just figured, well, why not? Well, I mean, where else are you going to get a livery like that? So there we are. So our first stop, Pearl Harbor Memorial, over the USS Arizona. Back here just a smidge. Try to slow our climb a little bit so we're not too high for right now. I was hoping to slow it down, but it's still wanting to climb. I think it finally might be doing it to settle down just a bit here so we're not too high. So this does have an autopilot system. Same sort of Garmin stuff that we've used before. So we could use this if necessary for another flight, I think. Let's see. Go. Cabin lighting we do not need on. Yeah. I just figured this would be a cool little Rick rolling someone with a plane. Yeah. I just figured we'd try something a little bit different today. Not that I was tired of the Stearman 75, like I said, I figured it'd be better to fly something that could climb up a little bit more so we have a nice view of everything as we get closer to the radio observatories there in the distance. Now it wants to nose over. Have to find the sweet spot if possible. Oh, well, there's no, yeah, we don't, now that'd be kind of a fun thing to do, but we don't unfortunately have that option in Flight Sim, is to capture a banner. I think that would be a bit, I mean, I guess that would be a cool mission thing, but then people would say, well, I want to edit the banner, and, you know, then you'd have people putting political stuff, and very, yeah, I don't think that they would ever allow that to happen. So, I was really expecting more people to come in for the flight today, but I guess we have what we have. That's all that we have. It's so hit and miss with what I never know what to expect from one stream to the next. Sometimes we get 20 people watching, and other times it's like nobody's here. Well, I know there's a couple of you guys here, but a couple of folks here, but I was expecting more, but I guess I need to temper my expectations. Now, we could try to be a little bit lower, but I think out of respect for what the memorial represents, we will not make a beeline for the memorial itself. Now, there is this airfield here, this Ford Island NLAF. Not sure what that is, what is really there.
Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace. Air Tiger 237 Honolulu approach.
Or if that's I don't know if that's a naval base or naval airfield. But it seems to me like it's not a widely used airfield. I don't really know. But there's the memorial. Now, I thought from at least some kind of altitude we would see the outline of the Arizona. There is a battleship. It's probably the USS Hawaii, I think, that is docked there. I think that's a museum. I've not been here personally. I guess you can kind of barely make out the outline there. Maybe just barely. So Hickman, of course, we've flown out of here in a military plane, I think. We did something out of Hickman. So that shares the airfield with Honolulu International. They don't have... I've been researching because I thought it'd be cool if we did a flight from San Francisco to Honolulu. I don't think that they have the capabilities of accepting the 747. I always thought that they flew to Honolulu, but I could be wrong. Or at least when I was researching it, I think they do use some kind of a jetliner to get to Hawaii from San Francisco or even from LA. but I don't know if it's a Boeing or if it's an Airbus. It's probably like a medium-sized aircraft that can make the trip, but it's not 747 or the Airbus 380, or even the Dreamliner. I don't think even the Dreamliner would be able to land here, because that's still a pretty large plane. I think for many years the Pan Am did services from, once the jetliner age started, they would do flights to Hawaii from LA or San Francisco in the 707, which had the legs to make it to Hawaii. I don't know if we will ever get a 707 in the sim. It'd be nice, but I don't think the A320 or the 737 Max has the legs for a trans-Pacific flight. But I could be wrong. So there is the Memorial Cemetery of the Pacific. Interesting that it's called Urban Honolulu. Huh. So Hawaii, very famous for the two TV shows, Hawaii Five-0. The more recent version was filmed in Oahu, which I believe that is Honolulu. So a lot of the scenes are filmed on the island, not elsewhere, and made to look like Honolulu. The original one was very well known. Jack Lord wanted, for the cast, all the actors that were like the supporting cast were all actual Hawaiian natives. He did not want, well, the exception of Dano. I think he's from America, just like in the new series, he's a kind of a transplant to the islands. But all the other, in the original one, all the other supporting officers that worked in his task force were all Hawaiian natives. The new show did not have that, surprisingly. Bit of well, some of them might be, but the supporting casts are not Hawaiian. So, yeah, bit different. In that regard. I've always wanted to visit Hawaii. My good friend in Las Vegas, he was stationed here in Hawaii for a number of years. Said it's very expensive to live there because everything, a lot of stuff has to be imported to the island for you to purchase, like milk and other things. So the prices are much higher because it has to be brought in. But it is a lovely place to live otherwise, but it's just very expensive. So we'll turn a little bit more towards the observatories there, and then we'll climb as we get a little bit closer. we've lost a bit of altitude, so I gotta get a little bit of altitude back. We can try to make a slow climb. There we go. I think that might work. Now, this plane is usually used for bush trips. I think also for skydiving. The skydivers just kind of load up here in the back. They open up the side door. The plane does its climb up, and then they just jump out the side. So yeah, it's I figured we'd do something a little bit fun today. It's something slightly different, so which is all good. Have a nice view out the side window here. It's not recommended to open the door. I don't think we can actually open the door even on the ground. It seems permanently shut, but that's okay. Oh, we'll try it once we land there at our airport. We're gonna call in for landing clearance at. Like a temperature thing? That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Okay, so those are the lights. That's the light switch. That's what I thought that was. But that looks like a little temperature gauge there on the window. Okay. Of course, it doesn't seem like we're going super fast, but that's okay. We are not in a race per se to get anywhere quickly. Have a nice relaxing flight. Kind of get the sense that most everybody expected the flight, and so that's why we don't have a lot of people in today. The flight would have been normally at 6:30, and so a lot of people don't always appreciate the trains first. Can't find a good but people can watch it on the replay, I guess. Or most everybody will come in as we're getting ready to land. That's suddenly when viewership numbers increase out of the blue. No pun intended.
Tiger 237, you're leaving my airspace. Resume on navigation. Contact Honolulu Center on 127.6. Good day.
127.6 Air Tiger 237. Honolulu Center Air Tiger 237, 4,300 feet.
Air Tiger 237, Honolulu Center, altimeter 29.92, continue as planned.
All right. Checking to see what other buttons are usable here. Select reversionary mode. Don't know what that means. Air oil cooler defrost. Oh, we have a window defroster. Does this game have a demo? No, it does not. Hayden, welcome to the channel, or welcome to the chat. No, there isn't a demo, but if you have the Xbox Game Pass, you can download the standard edition of the game for free. That's 20 planes. Now, yeah, it's free on Game Pass, I think, still. Don't hold me to it, but I do believe that it's free to play on the Game Pass. So if you have that, then you can try it, and then if you don't like it, there's at least 20 planes, maybe a bit more, because I think they've included the planes from the Game of the Year edition within the standard edition, I think. Possibly. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, there's no real... That's the only, I guess, closest thing to a demo mode that you would get. Yeah, there's not really a true demo like you have for other games. So that's the closest I think you'll get. So if you, it's not a bad deal if you have Game Pass to try it out, and then if you, of course, want more, then you can buy more planes specifically, or you can upgrade your editions. But I would recommend that if you decide that you want to do more, do everything within your budget. That's my advice. It can be fun. It can be a bit frustrating because sometimes something works today and it may not work tomorrow, and you just don't know the sort of reasoning behind that. But it can be very fun. It's challenging, and when you nail your landings and do well, it's the greatest feeling in the world. Or when you start a plane up and you taxi out and take off, a lot of fun. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on it. We're just having a nice flight here in Hawaii today. You can literally go anywhere in the world. You've got regular airports. You know, you've got the big massive airports like San Francisco or JFK, and then you have little dirt runways all over the world as well.
Air Tiger 237, contact Honolulu Center on
Any of the planes cost extra money. Yes.
Good day.
The game of the year, like this plane, I think was free,
Air Tiger 237.
if I remember
Honolulu Center,
correctly.
Air Tiger 237,
So it was included in the
6,900
quote-unquote Game of the Year edition.
Air Tiger 237 Honolulu
But
Center,
that money is set by
continue as planned.
usually it's third-party developers that offer additional aircraft. That pricing, I believe, is set between them and Microsoft, is what they think is a reasonable amount to charge for their creations. Same thing for hand-drawn or updated airports. X-Plane, you love it. Well, congratulations. I don't have X-Plane. I am on the Xbox. I only have Microsoft on the Xbox Series S. So, yes, the things are going to cost extra as long as you are aware of that. It does not mean that you have to have it right when it's released. I would wait a couple of weeks or more before you buy anything, because generally what will happen is when there's an update, the update will somehow make something unworkable. Is the 747 free? It is part of the standard edition. So if you have, like I said, if you have the Game Pass, you can download the standard edition. There is a flight school sort of thing. You start off on the Cessna 152 and you learn all the basics of flying. I would start there. Do not just jump in the 747 and go at it. Hello, Chris. If you're going to try it, I would stick with the 152, go through the flight school and learn as much as you can there before you just hop in the 747. But that's up to you. That's, again, my 2 cents on the matter. But some people will do it. They'll, oh, there's a jetliner, let me just hop in there, and then they get frustrated because they don't understand all the systems, what everything does and how to operate the plane. So I would take your time. But that's up to you. It's your choices. Or your choice. But I would, research everything before you start downloading and whatnot. I would go ahead and just have, do as much research as you can before you start getting into it. But again, that's let's head over this way just a bit. Try to keep that line in sight. Although we've got the observatory, I've got it marked so that we kind of know the general direction to go. Yeah, that's my new line regarding flight sim. Do everything within your budget as much as possible. Do not get caught up in the have to have the next new plane that comes out. I would highly advise to wait on purchases like that, because generally it does not work as intended right off the bat. So, and what works today may not work tomorrow. But if you've got the money, I would go for the PC version. That would be my advice as well. I would steer clear of the Xbox side as much as possible. It's got its share of issues. Well, both sides have their share of issues, but I think the PC side, of course, may be a little bit easier. There's way more help, you know, if you get stuck or something happens. There's a lot of people who have experience on the PC side that will be happy to share their settings or try to help you with a workaround to make something work. It's very difficult because we don't, on the Xbox side, we don't have the folder system like they do on the PC side. So that's one of the main differences. So there we go. But thank you for the questions. I am trying to change my advice giving sort of. Hey, Chris, I think you should try to do a scheme like this for your truck in Truck Simulator. Vic did the big old stars and stripes on ATS yesterday. I think, Chris, this would suit you pretty well right here. I don't know if you can create something like that, or if there's a way of, if there's a livery like that already in ATS or ETS. But there you go. I think that would be, that's got you written all over it right there. Yeah, I've kind of had some bit of if I could get it, I would yeah, I believe it. I could see you driving an ATS in a tiger liveried sort of truck with a big old tiger face on the hood. And then you just need to get that that horn that Mick was using last night. And as you go blasting past Pulse, you know, would scare the bejesus out of him. Hello, Madan Kumar? Madan? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, I after a recent episode regarding opinions about, yeah, oh no, Mick, don't get me wrong, I loved your livery. I'm just saying that if you could have something like what you did yesterday, which was really awesome, don't get me wrong, but I think Chris would look fantastic. His truck would look fantastic in a tiger striped sort of livery as he's causing carnage on the freeways. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, see, if you had all that and the boat horn, oh man, Chris, you would be, talk about carnage. It would be very recognizable. Although, oh, it would be great if like they had some glow-in-the-dark paint for the tiger stripes and all that. Oh, because then it would really show up when you guys are driving at night. That would be even better. Like some orange glowing paint. That would be even better. That would really show up well on the stream. And everybody say, "Oh, there goes Chris."
119.3 Air Tiger 237.
But yeah, anyway, as I was saying,
Honolulu Center, Air Tiger
there was a bit of a
237,
contentious
0,700
issue
feet.
last week about my advice, or somebody was asking what they thought, and you know, my advice about the. So my new advice line is, do what you can within your budget. There we go. Because it's one of those hobbies that you can really sort of get kind of lost in financially. And I guess that's really what it is. It's a bit of a hobby. So yeah, it's easy to think, oh, there's a new plane, I gotta have it, and then you try it and then things don't work as you thought they would. So be wary of that. But as I said before, when it works and all the things that you can do, like yesterday when we started up the F-14 and taxied out, I love that feeling. I'm not going to lie. That is a absolutely incredible feeling to do all that. I'll have a look when I get back from the shop and see if there's a Tiger one. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, when you popped in, I'm like, oh, you know, I think Chris would appreciate a livery like this on his truck. Oh, there you go. So I know you like to show off a bit. As you cause carnage. Oh, Mick, I forgot to ask you earlier. Did that clip work out okay? The one from last night with the flying truck, that the truck just went in the air and spun around and landed and caused damage to you and Chris? And all that? Did that clip work okay? I hope it did. I didn't get a chance to check Discord this morning to see if you had messaged me back about it. I probably should have looked, but I didn't think to look, so I figured I'd better ask now. I hope it worked out okay and that it could go in your updated intermission video clip montage. I think this was a good idea because here we are, we're at about almost 12,000 feet. And I think we still have a bit more to climb to be able to look over the radio astronomy observatory. There's 2 observatories up at the top of the mountain there. Yeah, I'd never tried that before, so I hope it worked out okay. Excuse me. Oh, this just says Pilatus. 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 I think it's Pilatus. Yeah. Cool little plane. I'm glad this is working so far fairly well. Again, it's not the fastest plane, but we got a nice view as we fly over the Hawaiian Islands. No, not checked it yet. I will do later. Okay. All you need is to spin me right round in the background of that. Yeah. But yeah, I just figure it's the spinning truck. Yes. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you could do that because they would. I'm sure there'd be some copyright issues, but I get what you're saying. Okay, Mick. Yeah, I didn't know if you had gotten to it yet or not. So I hope it works out and that you could use it for when you put more clips together for your intermission when you update all that. So now here's the other big question of the day, Chris. Are you ready for what is it? Out for Blood? Is that the game? You ready to run around with Pulse and Bex later today? Hopefully that will be a fun stream. I think it was a good idea to bring this aircraft instead because we are near the limitations of the Stearman 75. I think our next Sunday's 23rd, we are going to be flying. Oh, that's right. Wait, no, that's the 30th. The 23rd, we are flying around Mexico City. Yes, that's it. Mexico City in the Stearman 75. And then on the 30th, we will be returning to the San Francisco Bay Area in the Stearman 75. So we've not been... we did it in the Cessna 152, which was a bit slow and whatnot. Hello, Mr. Beast. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Not sure what that says. I don't know if I can try to copy it. Maybe not. Yeah, I can't do anything to try to translate it, but I'm guessing you're saying hello or hi. Hello to you as well, Mr. Beast. Yeah, so we're going to do the Bay Area again in the Stearman 75. Try to have a nice, should be a nice flight. This coming Saturday in the Spitfire, once again, the Fulda Gap. Fulda Gap. This Friday's viewer requested flight will be from Tokyo to Seoul in the A320. And yeah, Fulda Gap. We will fly out over there, talk a little bit about that area of the world, what it means and what it represents. What could have happened there in history. If things had gone a certain way. So if you don't know what it is and you don't want to wait to find out this Saturday, I would do some research, Google it. Google is your friend, as they like to say. So that way you are aware of what we will be talking about. Matter of fact, I'll type it in this. There we go. Here. I try to say it, but I should just put it in the chat. So we will have a bit of a history lesson on Saturday. Mick's favorite. Whenever I do history stuff, he is just besides himself. Beside himself. We talk history. So, and it's more, for me, it's even more special when it's a history that I'm tied to personally. I feel more connected. So take that for what you want it to, or what you think it might mean. And we will talk more about it on Saturday. So I think Mick's getting his fresh notepad and pen ready for Saturday's flight. May even have done some research ahead of time to be able to provide some additional notes in the chat during the flight. Ooh, wow, I think that's a light. Looks like a light. If I'll switch that on, is that... No, those are not lights. They look like lights, though. That may just be the cap of the end of the beam, the front area of the... Maybe that's what it is. It looks like a light, but it might not be one. Hello, Amela. How are you? Welcome again. I'm guessing now you've had your pre-breakfast. Now you're in your breakfast mode for the Sunday morning. Hopefully you are doing well. We're almost at the observatories here. This is a formerly active volcano that these observatories sit on. So the airport we're going to land at is just off the left wingtip. That's Maui. Not bad, thanks. I'm doing okay. Just having a nice leisurely flight here over the Hawaiian Islands. But you knew that already. And then Tuesday's flight, we will be in the BN2 Islander. We will be in Jamaica. We're going to take off from Kingston, and I got to write down the name of our destination airport. So we will be flying over the Jamaican Islands on Tuesday morning. Should be fun. But tomorrow's flight, we will go from Nantucket to Boston, Logan International. In the Embraer 110P in the old Atlantic Southeast Airlines liveried Embraer 110. I think they still fly regional stuff under Delta Airlines, I think, if I understand correctly. Now, one of the things I wish they would do, because they don't have like the actual island names, which I think they would have, you know, like that's Maui over there. This, you know, we're heading towards it's not who, it's what. We're going to be discussing that on Saturday's Spitfire flight. That is the area of our flight. So if you want to know more ahead of time, Google is your friend. I've been saying it, but I figured I'd type it in because if people want to kind of do their own research about it, then they know the spelling of it. It's not even a what, it's where. There we go. That's even a better. It's where is Fulda Gap. What does it represent? There we go. I will say that it has significant Cold War ties. The history of it is tied to the Cold War. There we go. I just figured it'd be something interesting because it's an era of history that has been kind of, well, it has been forgotten to a large extent, and it's been, yes, in a way, also well, I get forgotten is probably the best word. Yeah, forgotten history. Just like much of the, and that's another area I think we're going to fly sometime in February. Maybe not so much in the Spitfire, but maybe we'll do a flying tour of Berlin, and I'm going to try to estimate as much as I can roughly where the Berlin Wall was when Berlin was cut in half after the end of World War II. Because it's something, again, that is not remembered or discussed in a meaningful way. It is largely forgotten history. I think there's an airfield right at the top there of this island. It's a small strip, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe there's nothing here. Maybe that's, yeah. So yeah, we will do a flight around Berlin and discuss roughly where the Berlin Wall was when it was still up. Yeah, I still don't feel like we are on the same altitude as the observatories are at. So we still got to climb a little bit more. So yeah, I think this was a good option for our flight today, because we are definitely beyond the capabilities of the Stearman 75. So I know people have kind of warmed to the Stearman 75. I love it. Fun plane to fly. I think it's a good little plane for our flying tours. Yeah, there's really nothing here on this island. I'm not sure which island this is, but it's interesting. If you look at the different colors here, it's almost like one of them, some of that might be the old, the lava that kind of just, flowed, but then just kind of froze in place, and you still have this red color there on the island. I'm surprised there isn't some kind of a scientific, if this is a semi-active volcano, I don't know. And again, I'm not sure what island this is, but that there would be some kind of an observatory for, you know, scientific observation of the volcanic activity. So yeah, we will have another Cold War history lesson next month. Can't believe we were already in the halfway of January. Seems just like yesterday we were celebrating the new year. So yeah, we'll have to try to find, you know, certainly since the walls come down, the areas between the former East and West Berlin have changed dramatically. So I'm going to have to try to locate different areas and try to do our best guess as to where everything is, or was being the key word, was where everything was. So we had a nice flight here a couple days ago in the Embraer 110. We went from Kahului to Hilo, which is right near the where we're heading towards. That airport is just on the other side of the slope there, off the volcano. Really great flight. Really enjoyed it. The 110 was absolutely fun to fly. So once we round the have a look up the observatories up here, we will hang a left. We may circle around it a few times just to get a look, and then we are going to come back towards Maui, and our airport is just over the right tip, or left tip there. So we will come around the island there, call in for our landing, and we will be done. Uh-oh, here it goes. Chris has just realized that Amela is in the chat. Here comes the wind-up. Let the love-hate relationship begin. Yeah, good. I think I got my estimations correct. This was a good choice, because this aircraft can operate up to 25,000 feet for flight level 250. So there's no in-flight service here, no toilet. You have to go, you have to hold it. Chris has awoken, everybody run. Either that or he just got back from the shop. So he's back home and settled in front of the computer for right now. And so to also kind of talk about something I mentioned when we were starting the trains this morning, 70% of viewers on my channel have not subscribed. So if you are one of those 70%, and have been coming back and watching, please do consider subscribing. We do try to fly daily, as my schedule permits. I try to stick to the same time whenever possible. You will see Amela on... Oh! Is Amela joining you and Bex and Pulse for Back for Blood? Is that the... Is that what's happening? That'd be awesome. Because I think I know what would transpire. Pulse would be shooting the enemies. Chris and Amela would be shooting at each other, and Bex would be like somewhere in between all that. Bex has not been in any of my streams in, like, I don't know, forever. I don't know what has happened to cause Bex to stop watching. I feel like I've insulted Bex or something. Is that the boss you face? Yeah. Bex used to be a regular viewer. Suddenly it's like Bex can't be arsed. There was a big ogre, or yeah, and I call it a Bella. Oh boy. Well, Bex, if you're watching, I hope you're having a nice Sunday. If you're just lurking in the background, happy Sunday to you. Happy Sunday to everybody. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out and enjoying today's flight. We are nearing... I had a feeling that that's what it was tied to, Chris. Amela's appetite is notorious for those of us who know him or have known him for some time. Yeah, you don't get in the way of Amela's food time. Otherwise, you might lose a hand or a leg. Amela does not mess around when it comes to food. That is for sure. Don't put your hand in Amela's fridge, because you get a smack for sure. Nobody goes near Amela's fridge except Amela. Don't even look at Amela's fridge. You probably get smacked for that too. I'm gonna guess, Chris, that when Amela would run into the barriers on Train Sim World 2, speeding into the barriers there at the end of the platform, Bella's thinking, there's Chris. and you're tied up to the barriers, and he's gonna run into the into the barriers as fast as possible. That's my guess, Chris. If I had to guess anything, that would be, I think, how Umbrella rips you to shreds. Because it's like, it's at that time where you've already wound Umbrella up, and Bella's like, okay, Chris, I got you. So Bella's got this vision in his mind. There's Chris, just stuck to those barriers. And I'm going to run this train right through them. Oh, I failed the service. Oh well, but I got rid of Chris again. That'll teach him to mess with me today. Make sure the coupler goes right up his... See, I kind of figured that's what it was. It doesn't take much to imagine Umbrella doing that, Chris. Yeah, pretty neat design plane. We got this nice view of the left tire there. Alright, we are nearing our last area to... About the train derailment, the driver went crazy and ran someone over. See, I could... Oh man, if they had multiplayer in Train Sim World 2, you two would just... Oh my god. Now that would be a funny stream to watch.
Air Tiger 237 Honolulu Center altimeter 29.92, continue to Costa as planned.
Try to get a little bit more altitude, but I think we're near getting ready, right at a good spot where I think we're high enough now that we should... I just want to try to slow the climb down just a bit so that we should be able to fly right over the observatories nice and easy. And our second coward of the day. Got nothing better to do than bug people in their streams. That's awesome. It's okay, operator of those bot accounts. You are a pathetic excuse. Ooh, nice. Nice, Chris. There you go. I didn't know if there would be one on ATS or ETS. But, yeah, there you go. Now, too bad, I don't know if there's a way to mod it where the orange skin would glow at night. That would be really fantastic. It would really stand out because you, for whatever reason, you guys drive a lot at night. I don't know why, but yeah. That seems to be a very weird situation you guys find yourselves in a lot driving at night. Oh, nice. Excellent, Chris. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next time you guys do ETS. Oh, that's going to look fantastic. Where the truck can go faster than... Oh, 90 Oh. Bella, I don't know that you need to go faster than 90 kilometers an hour. You go fast enough as it... Oh, nice. I look forward to that. That should be good fun. How did, speaking of which, how did you get on last night on the, with Joe's ETS stream there, Mella? I know you couldn't do the same jobs as he was doing, but, I honestly thought Chris was in there. Like, somebody sounded a lot like... There's one for ATS, but it's not as good as the... Okay. Yeah, I thought for sure Chris was in the stream with Joe last night. There's somebody who sounded a lot like you, Chris, in Joe's stream on ETS last night. You got a twin out there. Somewhere. Oh my goodness, it was just... The chat, though, was getting on my every last nerve last night. I could only... I think I turned the chat off, or I don't remember. I did say hi to Glenn for a little bit, because he was in the chat. He was doing like 3 things at once or something like that. I think he was racing with Jason as well. I hadn't seen Glenn in here in ages either. I haven't seen Pete. I was just thinking about that last night after... Well, I was waiting for your stream to start, Nick. I have not seen Pete in ages either. Hopefully he's well. And Bella, if you talk to Pete at all, do tell him I said hello. Just slightly annoying, couldn't do the same jobs. He's a bit more senior. Yeah. Well, at least he got in there and got around for a bit. That's the important part. Yeah, I saw Glenn and I was like, man, I haven't seen Pete in ages. Hope he's okay. So, yeah, if you happen to talk to him before your next stream duties with a certain organization, yeah, do tell him I said hello. Yeah, I know he used to try to pop in every once in a while, so I don't know if he's been working a lot or... I don't know. Alright, we are finally on our way to the... We're getting closer to the observatories. Hour and 19 minutes. Wow. We've been streaming. But as I said, we're not in the rush or anything. Just having a nice, relaxing Sunday flight. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed the flight today so far. We will be, once we kind of get an idea of, look at these observatories from the air, we observe the observatories. There we go. And we will turn back to Maui, which is right back that way. And then we will call in to the airport there for our landing clearance. Have a nice landing here. I think I'm going to sort myself out something to eat for... I had a little snack this morning when I got up at 6:30, but I think I need to have something else to eat at the lunchtime. I'll make some soup for lunch. Look at that. Wow. Now that looks like it'd be an interesting place to fly. Just around all those valleys and whatnot created by the volcanic activity all these years. I can see myself zipping through the area in the F-14. I'm always at the lookout for things that I think might be an interesting place to have a stomach-turning flight. Or we fly under a bridge or something. Not that we should always do those things, but when opportunity presents itself as such, you can't say no to the opportunity. Wow, that is just really amazing looking land formation. I need to find some bridges to fly under in the Spitfire. I might have to look at London again and see if we can't just do some successive under the bridge sort of stuff. We just gotta have to keep it at a certain altitude, but I don't know. It's hard to say when there's that kind of a invisible wall between the bottom of the bridge and the water. There seems to be a much... I don't know why that is, but it seems to be the case sometimes. We will try to fly under the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge in the Bay Area when we do the Stearman flight. Just for fun. I like to have a bit of fun whenever possible. A very, very unique landscape in Hawaii, that's for sure. All in large part due to the volcanic activity that created the islands. I don't know what happened to Bella. Chris's question's been hanging in the air forever. Amela, would you answer Chris, please? And thank you. It's okay. Are you not working Monday then, Amela? Or is your office closed for MLK birthday? I'm guessing most everything is closed on Monday. But you never know. Some companies might say, well, we can't afford to be closed. If you could afford to pay me holiday pay, yeah. So we should have a pretty good turnout for the flight tomorrow, since most schools are going to be closed, a lot of businesses are closed. And all that, so yeah, so we might see a increase in viewership on Monday. So if you do join us, please do leave us a thumbs up. Give us a subscription. It's all greatly appreciated. We are now nearly at 100. I think we just hit 145 subscribers. Yep. Let's see if we've picked up any new ones since we've been flying. Oh, 147. So we're almost at 150. So I do appreciate the new subscribers. If you're watching on Twitch and have not followed the channel over there, please do so. It's all greatly appreciated. Alright, here's our observatories coming up. There's a smidge of altitude. While we come over the observatories. We'll circle around a couple times just to try to get a good view of things. Look at this landscape. This is just absolutely amazing. It's very, I guess it's almost alien in nature, but it's not. It's, but it just, look at this, the way that the lava flowed. Absolutely amazing. Check that out. Now, honestly, folks, where else in the world are you going to see something like this? Yeah, maybe on the National Geographic Channel. See here, don't have to well, it helps if you subscribe to the channel, but you don't even have to. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. See some of these really amazing places. from the air. So we can lose a bit of altitude, and we'll try to come around. There is the different observatories. Mauna Kea Observatory, and then you have the National Radio Astronomy Observatory right next to it. So certainly this area, not a lot of light, so they can see stars and whatnot. Absolutely amazing. Oh boy, starting to. Hello, Deshaun. Starting to kind of. It seems like it's starting to buffer a bit. Yeah. All right, hold on, folks. I apologize in advance if the stream suddenly decides to go kaput on us. It was working fine for quite some time. Don't know what has happened. Let's circle back around here. We'll be a little bit lower now, so we should be able to see. Oh, come on. There is data. What are you talking about? Alright. Yeah, it's starting to buffer. It seems like. Hopefully this fixes itself. I apologize, folks. I don't know if you guys are seeing any kind of buffering. I know I am. I hope it's not doing that on YouTube. Alright, so there's the radio observatory again. Big radio dish sending out signals to learn about our universe. So there's a bit of science. I miss Science Sunday with Mick and Bex. It was always a good time. So there's the big radar dish right there. Well, it looks big. I guess it's a pretty standard size. I don't know. And these all house different types of telescopes to view the universe as well. That's why you have those kind of a domed sort of buildings. Those have the telescopes and the requisite computer systems to operate them. So yeah, well above any sort of light. Certainly worth checking out. if you're into those sorts of... Yeah, YouTube is playing up. Okay. I kind of had a feeling that was the case. Oh, that's not what I was hoping. It's just... I apologize about that, folks. It seems like it's kind of caught up now. Hopefully it sorts itself out. Sometimes it will. It just... For some reason it starts to bottleneck, and then we experience stuff like this. So I apologize in advance if it's not being a very pleasant viewing experience. So... Yeah, sometimes we just run into these little hiccups every once in a while, and then it sorts itself out. All right, let's turn towards Maui a little bit. So I don't know if it's so much that it's YouTube. It might be a problem with Aircast that it just, you know, as time goes on and there's more people on, maybe it just starts to bottleneck a bit. I don't really know. It's hard to say, but. Frost the windows a little bit, get a little chilly, seems like. Oh, nope. It's starting to do it again. Alright, well, I apologize, folks. It's hit and miss when we get the these sorts of issues. I thought we would have had it resolved by now, but I don't know necessarily that it's YouTube. It might just be Aircast kind of having its issues. So we'll try to get over to Maui and put this plane on the ground. Don't know that the airport is close enough to us. Write down the PH. Okay. Did write down the name of the airport that we're looking for. There it is.
Maui Tower Air Tiger 237 is 76 miles southeast, 17,300 feet with kilo to land.
Air Tiger 237 Maui Tower. Altimeter 29.92, wind 261 at tree. Enter left base, runway 23.
Fly left base runway 23 Air Tiger 237.
All right. Well, there we are. We got our pattern entry. Still got a bit of flying left to do. Hopefully things kind of settle down here on YouTube. Do appreciate everybody coming in today. Thank you for the 9 likes. Really appreciate that. Hopefully everybody has a great rest of their Sunday morning, afternoon, early Monday morning, depending on where you are in the world. I can assure you it is not quite light yet. In Hawaii, we've changed the time just a bit so that we could have a nice daytime flight. Look at that. That is just begging to be flown in the F-14 right there. Come in one side is do a, oh my goodness, that is just right for flying. I can't help but think, I always think about that kind of stuff when we're flying. I shouldn't, but I do. Man, that looks like a phenomenal area to do a bit of turn and burn in. I just unplugged my headphones by accident. Alright, so we will make our way over to Maui. Or it might just be too, we've had some really significantly cold weather, so it may just be that my internet's playing up a bit too. Although it should not be. But if my rather what's the word I'm looking for? Selfish neighbors who sometimes leave the downstairs basement door open to the cold air, that all that cold air does affect everything down there in a very negative way. So it very well may be that's what's happened too. Hope I'm wrong, but I never know. So, I mean, it affects our hot water system, it affects everything in my building. We just have people who just don't care enough to close doors behind them. So all right. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on the stream here for YouTube. Hopefully, it lasts till we land. I do apologize in advance if it quits. Guess what I could do. Don't know. Oh, Funky 2014, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Appreciate that. I have to find my... Twitch stream, and then I can post in the So if for some reason YouTube decides to quit, please do go over. Oh, see, now it went excellent. See, I started talking about going over to Twitch, and suddenly it goes, oh, we have an excellent connection again. Nutties. Let's speed up a little bit, try to get to where we don't want to climb too much. We have a you have to be at about 10,000, no, 1,027, so about 1,000 feet. So yeah, we don't want to climb any more than we have already. We want to start losing a bit of altitude, but nothing, we don't want to go too fast, too quick. Yeah, I just noticed that. Thank you, Funky, for the follow. Appreciate that. Alright, so hopefully now that has all been sorted. The demons have been exorcised. Nope. Now it went right back to it again. That's awesome. Not even 2 minutes of a healthy stream. Alright, so if for some reason, folks, please take note, you can go over to the Twitch channel and hang out there. If for some reason YouTube continues to act up and we can't get, it decides to just quit on us. Like I said, it might not be might not be YouTube necessarily. It might be Aircast itself. So, or it might be my internet. But there's a viewing option. Usually, everything looks better on Twitch anyway. Climbing. How are we climbing? I thought we had nosed over a bit and we were losing altitude. So yeah, usually Twitch is a bit more stable. I wish that I did not have to say that, but we just seem to run into all kinds of problems with Aircast and YouTube. I don't know why. Again, now we're climbing again. I think what we'll do is we'll try to come around that the way that the land is formed right there, that slope down the side there to the right. I think we'll try to skirt right over that, and then we'll see our pattern entry a little bit over there. It goes back to climbing again. I don't quite get it. But I do appreciate everybody coming in today. Thank you for the 9 likes. I think it was at 9 earlier when I said thank you. So if I think, but I could be wrong. But nothing wrong with saying thank you again. We will be back tomorrow. The Embraer 110 PA. Flying from Nantucket to Boston. Should be about an hour and a half roughly flight. don't know if we will do the live weather. It might be very... We'll have to see. We might fly with the live weather on, or we'll turn it off and just add some scattered clouds, because I don't know that the Embraer could handle an extreme winter storm. Guess it could, possibly, but I don't know what the weather is like there in Boston. Or Nantucket, for that matter. So we may just have some scattered clouds. If it's really, really bad, I think that's what we'll do. We'll just have some nice scattered clouds. Just so that we fly through the clouds. I think that's a reasonable thing to do. I am looking at some seaplane flying with the Grumman G44A next month as well. Oh, we went right back to the same problem. It says it's not receiving enough video to maintain. Well, this time it lasted 4 minutes. So something is not right. But there's not much I can do about it now. So, like I said, if for whatever reason things get crazier and YouTube just gives up, Scenic goes back to excellent. Every time I start talking about other viewing options, yeah. It's just that I stream directly to YouTube, because on Twitch, eventually the videos get deleted over time. So my library does not stay intact on YouTube like it does on, or not on, it doesn't stay intact on Twitch like it does on YouTube. So that's the difference. We can put our landing lights back on. See them on now. Thought I put it as extended. Not sure where the lights extend from, so I'm not 100% familiar with this aircraft. All right. I do hopefully everybody enjoyed today's flying. I had a great time doing this. Nice to fly something a little bit different than what we're used to. So, yeah, I think this could certainly be a plane that we can bring back to the channel again. Really enjoyed flying this today. when I was looking at where we were going to end up landing at, I figured this would be a good kind of approach. Now, I didn't know exactly which runway we were going to be assigned to, but we've lucked out that they've given us an assignment, and we're just going to continue to descend, and we will kind of see as we get a little bit closer our pattern entry, which way we are going to fly in. I kind of think I know already, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But we'll find out here shortly. Now everybody's going to come in and go like, ooh, it's landing time. It's landing time. Lightning bolt, lightning bolt. Everybody enjoyed the scenery of the Hawaiian Islands. The really awesome land formations from the volcanic activity that created the islands. And of course the observatory is there. Quite awesome to see that. Like I said, I do recommend if you're interested in those sorts of things, I would Google them and see if they have a website that discusses what they're looking for or what they're up to. So if you're interested in those sorts of things, it's a good way to find out what they are currently tracking in the universe, what sort of things that they are observing at the observatory. Nothing wrong with learning. It's always a good thing to learn. You never know. You might discover that it's something that you're very passionate about, and young enough you could go to school and learn those things and get a job in that field. You never know. It's always good to get your youngsters interested in those sorts of sciences as well. The best part of the stream is coming up. The one that everybody seems to be most excited about. Don't know why. I don't know if they're expecting me to crash or what. But we will be landing soon here in Maui. Nice view as we head towards the international airport here. Get me a little drink of water as I've been talking quite a bit, it seems. My throat's starting to dry out. Go ahead, at least get our first set of flaps down so we can start slowing down a bit. Adjust our speeds and everything as needed. Look at that. Now, I don't know if there's a way to hike up there or anything, but that would just be a phenomenal sight from up there, looking across the island. And I don't know even if there's like a charter helicopter sort of service that you could fly up there maybe. Of course, now my batteries start to go low. I think we've got enough juice left in the batteries to get us to our airport and land. Chat went quiet. The dead chat. I'm declaring the chat dead. D-E-D dead. Watch, everybody will start to chat up as soon as I enter the pattern entry, get into the pattern entry. Then everybody's going to want to say hi and ask questions and whatnot, or we'll get one of the porn bots. And I want to give a special thank you to Amela today. I think Amela's probably lurking in the background. I do greatly appreciate your kind words yesterday to me about the streams and everything. So I want to acknowledge that in a public forum. I do appreciate that very much. Very kind words. Very, very nice compliment yesterday. Oh, Chris is still there. He's hanging on every edge of the Tiger flight today. I'm glad to have you here, Mella. Truly. That was a very nice compliment to give me yesterday. I greatly appreciate you being here. I just figured it was good. I wanted to make sure you got that acknowledgement here during the stream. It's one thing to say something nice in a direct message, but I just want to let you know in front of all of our viewers and friends that I do greatly appreciate that compliment. That was very, very unexpected, but yeah, really made me smile. All right, there's our pattern entry. Mick's still there. I knew Mick would still be here. He's multitasking, no doubt. Keeping track of the underwater volcanic activity. Mick is a... Yeah, Umbrella can do compliments. I will share what Amela said yesterday to me in a message. And I'm not doing this to embarrass Amela. Amela said, and I quote, "You may not know, but your flights calm me down. Very relaxing." So, yes. I'm glad that that is the case. I know, as I've said before, the world is crazy enough as it is. We try to fly and enjoy things that we may not otherwise get to enjoy. That's excuse me. That is part of what we try to do here on the channel. Is to try to bring some sense of calm to an otherwise crazy world. Try to see parts of the world that we may not ever get a chance to see for various reasons. Appreciate the beauty of the world that we have and the friendships that we have. That's what we try to do. Plus, you have very good taste in terms of flying. Well, thank you. I do try. I try to, go all over. But I think Sundays are good when we have a nice, spectacular view like what we've had today. It does kind of put the week into perspective, I think. We're going to go past So we're going to turn in towards the pattern entry here shortly. Yeah, I do try to find interesting places. I know not everybody may appreciate areas that we fly. But we will eventually make our way in different parts of the world. We've been plenty of places already since we've started flying roughly almost 7 months ago. Can't believe it's been that long since. I thought it was August, but it turns out it was like June or July. So we've been doing this for some time. So very good chance we've been to parts of the world already that you may be wanting us to fly in. So there is a good library of flights we've already done. So do check that out if you're new, a new subscriber. Now it starts to act up again. Alright, we're just going to have to kind of bleed off the airspeed or altitude ourselves. Into our pattern entry. Now I was thinking we were going to come in off the water there and land in the runway that's running kind of that way in front of us, but it looks like we're on the shorter runway. That's okay. We'll make it work. The last bit of the flaps down. So we're ready for landing. We're at the wrong ambush site. I haven't watched that movie in ages. I wish it would come out on Amazon Prime so I could just watch it. Just for a good laugh. Mr. Eastwood. His recon Marines in the movie Heartbreak Ridge.
Clear to land runway 23.
Here we
Clear
are.
to land runway 23 Air Tiger 237.
Flight attendants prepare the cabin for landing. Oh, wait a minute, we don't have any. We don't have a flight attendant crew today. It's bring your own beverages and snacks kind of flight. Nice scenery as we come into landing here. Alright, there's our lovely runway. Now the great thing is, because we have this Garmin system, we can know when we are over the runway, and if we are lined up with the runway, we can throttle back and put it on the ground. Corrected there. Well, there we go. Not too shabby for the landing. Our first time in this aircraft. Oops.
Turn next taxiway. Tiger 237 exit runway when able.
There we are.
Air Tiger 237 contact ground on 121.9er.
Going to 121.9er, Air Tiger 237. Maui ground, Air Tiger 237 taxi to parking.
Air Tiger 237 taxi to gate Bravo 15 using taxiway Bravo Alpha.
Taxiing to gate
There it
Bravo
is.
15 via taxiway Bravo
Oh, thank
Alpha,
you,
Air
Milla.
Tiger 237.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that went pretty well, didn't it? We're getting a little bit better with the landings. I think if I throttle or, reduce the propeller RPM, we don't get a lot of that torque that we normally get with the tail dragger aircraft when we land. So I think that's just a lesson we're going to keep applying to planes like the Spitfire. So on behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, including Real Italian, who was the first in the chat today, I'd like to welcome you to Maui. It is certainly dark here in Maui. It is not morning time just yet. We know that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator viewing live stream pleasures, and we are glad that you chose us today. Do join us tomorrow in the Embraer 110 Papa. He is in pizza. Oh, thank you, Mick. Appreciate that. And we will be flying from Nantucket to Boston Logan International tomorrow morning, 6:30 East Coast time, 11:30 UK time. So do join us for that. Should be a lot of fun. I will go over the startup procedures. I gotta kind of make sure I know where all the bells and whistles are on the flight deck for that flight. Oh, this is a rather large parking spot. Wow. I just said the parking. I didn't say the gates, did I? Okay. Well then, I guess we fit right in with the other aircraft since we have an orange paint scheme. Yeah, fun plane to fly. I'm really glad that this worked out as well as it did. So, yeah. We will definitely have to put this in the repertoire for the future. Alright, where's my battery switch? I gotta find that. I think it's over here somewhere. Get rid of... Oh, I know where it is. I gotta... There we go. All right. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Not too shabby. All right. That is going to be it for today, folks. I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. I will see you all tomorrow in the Embraer 110 Pizza. Papa P. Nantucket to Boston. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday or early Monday morning, depending on where you are in the world. Take care. Peace. Live long and prosper.